Very happy to join you today for the Smart Nation Summit. We're doing a dialogue afterwards, but first I'll spend 10 minutes and tell you what's on my mind. Many countries and cities have similar ambitions to become smart nations, smart cities. Their concepts and ideas vary. For us, being a smart nation is not about flaunting glitzy technology, but it's about applying technology to solve real problems that will make a difference to people's lives and across the whole of society. And there are three parts to this: the digital government part, the digital economy part, which has to do with the tech ecosystem and the talent, and digital readiness. But apart from the philosophy, what specific things are we doing in Smart Nation? And I would put it to you as three pieces. One, we are building enablers, the basic infrastructure on which to construct apps and services and to enable seamless transactions. So, for example, the national digital identity, a secure and trusted manner of authentication. Or the Singapore government tech stack, a common pool of resources and data to reduce time and effort building apps for the government. Or a national sensor platform to collate data on traffic, congestion, pollution for many applications. So the first thing we're doing is to build enablers. The second thing is to work on projects that address concrete problems. For example, in shipping and logistics, we have the Networked Trade Platform. It used to be called TradeNet. It was born 30 years ago when it was a path breaker, first in the world, for submitting trade documents. It's evolved since then, but it still has to do with compliance with trade documents. And now we are integrating it with the port system, which deals with the management of physical containers and goods and cargoes, so as to generate a networked trade platform that will connect the government agencies with shipping lines and logistics firms to better manage all aspects of the import and export of goods, whether it's a physical movement, whether it's a trade financing, or the compliance. And these improvements, if we can put this together and make one coherent, integrated system, convenient to use and efficient in its service, it would be a competitive advantage for Singapore. Thirdly, we need to have experimental projects to learn quickly about novel technology, and if it doesn't work, to fail fast. For example, projects on autonomous vehicles, on artificial intelligence, and even the latest and hottest buzzword, blockchain. And we actually found a use for blockchain, potentially. For the next generation trade platform, we're exploring using distributed ledger technology to exchange digital trade documentation and hopefully reduce the inefficiencies of cross-border trade, save on operating costs, and lower the risks of fraud. We have a strong base to become a smart nation because the population is technologically literate, IT infrastructure is good, internet access is fast and affordable, and we have a very high usage rate. There's fiber to every home and a mobile phone penetration rate of 150%. It's not quite the highest in the world, but it is higher than you would really need just to get by. Also, the government takes the lead. We were one of the first governments in the world to computerize, to digitize our data, to move services online. We have services which are efficient, convenient, popular with citizens, whether it's applying for a passport, whether you're paying taxes, whether you're paying your parking fines. It doesn't take more than a moment because a QR code is provided to you. Or you're managing your housing board, housing mortgages, or Central Provident Fund retirement savings. It all can be done online. But we can do much better. Certainly that's true for government services. Partly this is because we have been early adopters, and so we now have many legacy systems that have been built, rebuilt, upgraded, added on, patched, and put together over many years. and need to be rethought, rebuilt from scratch while keeping the service running, which is extremely challenging. And at the same time, we need to keep up with new technology to transform how we develop apps and deliver services. For example, using the cloud or centralizing development instead of each agency developing their own bespoke website or system at great expense and ending up with a substandard product. So our mystery shoppers to government services are kept busy, and once in a while, I join in myself. But it's not just about improving the customer experience or the software, it's also rethinking and streamlining the underlying processes to focus on our essential requirements. What do we need? What information must we have? What can we dispense with? How can we restructure ourselves, our organizations, our decision-making processes to deliver the services in a customer-oriented way? That's in the public sector, but in the private sector too, there are tremendous opportunities to adopt technology and to create new areas of growth, and in particular in financial services. We've made significant progress in fintech. We're regarded as one of the leading fintech hubs in the world, and our monetary authority has been running a successful fintech festival for the last 3 years, which now has 45,000 participants from 130 countries. I asked them whether they had the right number of zeros, and they confirmed, yes, there are. There is the buzz. And we've created regulatory sandboxes to try out tech innovations without imposing too many restricted rules. We are seeing, apart from the field of fintech, more pervasive application of technology in the financial industry. Banks are beginning to use data analytics and AI to help detect fraud and suspicious transactions. And there are interesting experiments using blockchain to make cross-border payments faster and cheaper. If you are in the financial sector, you will know that cross-border payments is one of the bugbears which affects all countries. It's slow, it's expensive, it's burdensome, and we need to make it more convenient and efficient, short of the Facebook solution. Even tech companies like Tencent, Alibaba, and Grab, which are in Singapore, are increasingly involved in payments and banking. And these digital insurgents add diversity to the banking industry and cater to underserved customers and new customer preferences. They also provide the impetus for existing banks to improve the quality of their own digital services. And Singapore banks are indeed responding to the competition. DBS was ranked by Euromoney as the world's best digital bank last year, and OCBC and UOB have embarked on partnerships with telecoms and fintech companies on digital initiatives. All countries are focused on this, and some have created frameworks to license new players which are not banks with no banking parentage, to set up digital banks, which means to set up a digital bank which has no branches, no ATMs. And MAS is now actively studying whether to allow this in Singapore, and will hopefully have something to announce soon. What are the ingredients we need to succeed in this smart nation vision? First, we need very strong engineering capabilities. There needs to be a strong, broad base, but also high peaks. We must be able to attract and recruit engineers to build teams of the caliber of the best tech companies in the world, whether Silicon Valley or elsewhere. And we're making some progress because some of these top companies, including some of the FANGs, are beginning to have engineering operations here. And this applies not just to the private sector, but also to the public sector, because the public sector must be as good as the private sector, if not better. Our universities are producing more IT graduates, and the quality has been rising. People see that there's a pot of gold, many pots of gold, and they are going for it. And I think these bright young men and women, as they come out, they will transform the industry and transform our ability to participate and to make this a smart nation. Of course, we will not just depend on Singaporeans, but we will also attract talent here and also bring home the Singaporeans who are working abroad, which is quite a considerable diaspora. It's the right timing because the ASEAN tech scene is thriving. I think you talked about this earlier. The region is home to a fair number of unicorns and tech startups, and the digital economy in ASEAN is projected to grow to $240 billion by 2025. So first, you need the engineering. Second, we need the leaders and managers to understand enough about technology, both in government and in the private sector, which includes more engineers in the highest leadership positions. You need a combination. You need the managers, you need the generalists, but you also need the techies, and you need the people with tech background who have become managers and retain a feel for the subject and an understanding of where it is going without needing to know the latest ins and outs of the latest in APIs. Basically, you need a combination of geeks and aspies with non-geeks and neurotypicals. Then we will have a feel for the tech issues, and we can make sound judgments on tech development, procurement, and take bets and commit, make decisions. Then we will know what to demand from our tech teams and when we need to disrupt established operations with new tech. And what is real, what is snake oil, what is buzzword, what is a promising solution. Then we can get capable tech talent to work for us and guide and empower us, and then we can guide and empower them to make a difference. Thirdly, we need to be a society that embraces science and technology and not to fear it. The Singapore ethos of our society has to be rational, transparent, able to examine and solve any problem rationally, prepared to apply solutions which work even if they're unconventional and use new approaches. People have to understand the risks of technology, whether it's cybersecurity, whether it's privacy, whether it's online falsehoods. But our people must not be anti-tech or anti-science, because that would hold back progress and it would be the end of us. So our Ministry of Comms and Information launched a digital readiness blueprint last year to improve citizens' access to technology and to help our people learn how to use digital technology safely. We are determined to achieve this smart nation vision. It's an essential strategy if Singapore is to remain an outstanding metropolis, abreast of other centers of human creativity and enterprise, whether in the US, whether in Asia, whether in Europe, or anywhere in the world. To be up with the best and outstanding place for people to live, work, and play, and the human spirit to thrive, we have to master technology and make full use of it. There are hazards along the way, and we have to be alive to them, while experimenting boldly and breaking new ground. We are committing enormous public resources, but the government can't do this alone, so we welcome the private sector to help us to make this happen. Thank you very much.